Hello students of 7th standard. Today we are starting with 4th chapter, that is history chapter. Okay. The name of the chapter is Rajput age. Okay. Now this word Rajput comes from a Sanskrit word which means Rajaputra. Okay. So it means the word is like this, Rajaputra, which comes from Sanskrit word. It means Raja ka putra, and that is how the name came, Rajput. And we are talking about age. Age means that duration, that time period. So we are going to talk about the medieval period, which was from 7th century to 12th century. So let us start with this. Rajput had subdivisions. Some were known as Suryavanshi, Chandravanshi and Agnivanshi also. The people who descended from Lord Rama was known as Suryavanshi. The descendants from Lord Krishna were known as Chandravanshi, and the people of family of fire god were known as Agnivanshi. So there were subdivisions of Rajput. Rise of new dynasties. After the death of Emperor Harshvardhan in the middle of 7th century CE, many feudal chieftains and landlords declared themselves to be independent and founded new dynasties. Now to understand this, let us understand what do you mean by feudalism. Okay, now feudalism, it is like this, that earlier there was a big kingdom which was ruled by one king, and this vast kingdom was divided into divisions, different parts. Those were headed by landlords. So landlords used to take care of those subdivisions of that big large kingdom, and these landlords used to give some portion of land revenue to the king, and when the king needed army, they also provided army. So landlord used to give king land revenue as well as supply army whenever the king needed. Slowly and gradually they started becoming rich, and they were having power also, power of army. And gradually they thought that we are also equally strong like king. We have money and we have power also. So they thought, why to be there under some other empire? So let us declare ourselves independent. So like this, these landlords started becoming independent and they declared themselves as a new dynasty. And like this, new dynasties came upon. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to learn about different dynasties of North India and South India. So let us start with North Indian dynasties. We have learned that Harshvardhan had control over Kannauj place and a vast area of India also. So after Harshvardhan, it was Yashovarma who captured and conquered over Kannauj. Kannauj is in Uttar Pradesh, right? Now, after Yashovarma, we had the Pratihara dynasty. Pratihara dynasty also ruled over Kannauj. Now, this Pratihara dynasty used to protect India from Arab invasion. Arab invasions means the people who are coming from the western side of India. Okay, the Arab countries. So, they used to protect India from the border. And then we had Mihir Bhoj, who was one of the kings of Pratihara dynasty, who was the most powerful ruler. And he had fought a battle with Rashtrakuta. Rashtrakutas were dynasty of South India. So the king of North India, that is Mihir Bhoj of Pratihara dynasty, had fought a battle with the kings of Rashtrakutas of South India. Now let us learn about the Parmar dynasty. They used to rule in Malwa, and they had established two big cities over there. One is Dharnagari and Ujjain. Ujjain, we know it is famous for Mahakaleshwar temple. Okay, one of the 12 Jyotirlings of Lord Shiva. Okay, so these two cities were established, and this Parmar dynasty had very nice good rulers, that is King Munj and King Khoj. There were other rulers also, but these were the one who were most famous among them. Now let us talk about King Bhoj. King Bhoj made Dharnagari as the center of education. Okay, so he had established a university over there for Sanskrit literature. So it means that King Bhoj was interested in literature also, and he used to give more focus on education. So a university was established which was known as Bhojshala. Okay, the name of the university. Now this information is related to King Bhoj only. Now this information we are going to talk about the kings of Parmar dynasty. King Munj and King Bhoj were good rulers also, as well as they were good poets also. They used to write a lot of poems also. And they used to patronage scholars in their court. What do you mean by patronage? Patronage means the help given by the king to the different artisans and poets and other peoples. Okay, so that is patronage. Now, lot of architectural monuments were built during the Parmar dynasty. So it means they were also interested in art and architecture, and education we have already learned. Now the Parmar rulers had fought a battle with Chalukyas. Chalukyas is also one of the dynasty like Rashtrakuta. So they had fought a battle with Chalukyas of South India. So North India and South India dynasty, if you see, there were so many battles fought with them. What we have learnt earlier about King Harshvardhan and King Pulkeshi II. Now, after King Bhoj, kingdom of Malwa weakened. So there was no other descendant who was as brave, as powerful as King Bhoj. Okay. Now there is information given about King Bhoj in our textbook on page number 19. Did you know? Okay. It is said that Raja Bhoj suffered from brain tumor. What is brain tumor? Tumor is a cancerous or non-cancerous unusual growth of cells in our brain. Okay, so that is what he was suffering from in his early age. In the early 10th century, he was operated on by two brothers from Ujjaini. Okay, Ujjain, we have learned that there was a big city which was established by Parmar dynasty. So from there, two people came and they operated him, who sent him into a controlled coma using a medicine called Sammohini. Medicine was given through which it would help them to operate on his brain. They then operated his skull and removed his tumor. Raja Bhoj survived this surgery and lived a healthy life. So after that he had a healthy life and he ruled for a long period of time. Now let us learn about Pala dynasty and Sen dynasty. Pala dynasty used to rule in Bihar and Sen dynasty used to rule in Bengal. Okay, now the rulers of Pala dynasty had added Pala to their name. So the dynasty was known as the Pala dynasty. Now here in the book it is given that with the help of your teacher and the library, find out more information about the rulers of Pala dynasty. So here let us learn about Pala dynasty. Now the word Pala comes from Sanskrit and the meaning of the word Pala means protector. Okay. Now Gopala was the founder of Pala dynasty. His name had Pala at the end, so the dynasty came to be known as Pala dynasty. After Gopala, we had Dharampala. Dharampala was the son of King Gopala and he had established Vikramshila University. Vikramshila University was in Bihar and he also restored Nalanda University. Nalanda University, we have learned that King Harshvardhan had given his full assistance to make Nalanda University into world famous university. So he restored it. Restored it means he reconstructed it. Okay, so that was done by Dharampala. Then we have Devpala. Devpala had ruled over Assam and Orissa, which is in the east of India. So a major portion of East India was captured by Devpala. And later we have Mahipala. Mahipala, after Mahipala, the Pala dynasty weakened, and this is how they had ruled over northern and eastern parts of India. Now let us learn about Sen dynasty. Sen dynasty has ruled over Bengal and they had ruled over 200 years in that area. Okay, and it was established by Samanta Sen. Now Samanta Sen had Sen in his name. So this is how the name of the dynasty came into existence, Sen dynasty. And we had Vijay Sen also. Now this king ruled for 60 long years. So this is how some information about Sen dynasty is here. Now let us talk about Chauhan dynasty. It is also known as Chahman dynasty. And Chahman dynasty used to rule over Rajasthan. Okay. Now the dynasty, the king of this dynasty used to rule in Rajasthan in 7th and 8th century. So they were ruling there, and we had King Ajaypal. Ajaypal used to rule in the Shakambari. Now Shakambari is a place near Lake Sambar, which is to the north of Ajmer. Okay, so he used to rule there in 12th century. In 12th century, he used to rule there. So Chauhan dynasty was ruling Rajasthan since 7th and 8th century, and he started ruling in 12th century. Now King Ajaypal had established a city which was known as Ajmeru. Now we know it as Ajmer. So from Ajaypal it was Ajmeru, and Ajmeru now we know it as Ajmer city, which is in Rajasthan. Now let us talk about Chauhan dynasty in detail. The kings of Chauhan dynasty had captured Delhi. Now Delhi was in the hands of Tomar kings. Tomar kings were ruling in the northern part of India, that is in the areas near Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. They were ruling there. So when Delhi was in the hands of Tomar kings, it was Chauhan dynasty who captured it. And after that we had Prithviraj Chauhan. So like this you can see Chauhan dynasty had ruled in Rajasthan, and gradually they started rule in Delhi also. Now let us talk about one of the most powerful rulers of Chauhan dynasty, that is Prithviraj Chauhan. You might have heard about him. He is also known as Rai Pithora III in the history of India. Okay, and we can say that Prithviraj Chauhan was unparalleled. Unparalleled means he cannot be compared with any other. Okay, the meaning of unparalleled is cannot be compared with others. So we know he was very brave, he was very powerful, and he was very ambitious also. Okay, there are so many stories and folk songs which are related to Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, folk songs means the traditional songs which are made during that time and which has been passed from one generation to another generation. So there are so many folk songs, and you will find stories also about him. Then there was a poet in his court. His name was Chand Bardai. Chand Bardai had written an epic, like we have Ramayana. Okay, he had also written an epic. The name of the book was Prithviraj Raso. And in that book you will find lot of information about Prithviraj Chauhan, his contribution, about his administration and rule. So Prithviraj Raso was written by Chand Bardai. Now Prithviraj Chauhan had fought a battle with Shahabuddin Ghori. Who was Shahabuddin Ghori? Shahabuddin Ghori was an Arab invader. Okay, now Shahabuddin Ghori had come in India, and during that time he had a fight with Prithviraj Chauhan in the areas of Haryana. The battle was known as Tarain First and Tarain Second. In the first battle, Prithviraj Chauhan won the battle, but in Tarain Second, he lost the battle. So this is what we have learnt about Prithviraj Chauhan and Chauhan dynasty. Now let us learn about Gohil dynasty. The Gohil dynasty was also called as Guhils or Sisodia, and they were ruling in the areas of Mewar. Mewar is a part of Rajasthan. Okay, and the founder of this dynasty was Bappa Rawal. Next we have Chedi dynasty. Chedi dynasty was ruling over Jabalpur, that is near the river Narmada in the south of Madhya Pradesh. So this Chedi dynasty was also known as Chedi dynasty of Kalachuri, and its capital was at Tripuri. Now it is known as Tewar. Okay. Now the kings of this dynasty had lost battle with Chalukyas of South India. We have learned that King Pulkeshi II belonged to Chalukya dynasty. So they had lost battle with the Chalukya dynasty. Now let us learn about the dynasties which ruled over Gujarat in the medieval era. We had Chavdas and we had Solanki dynasties also which ruled over Gujarat. Solanki dynasty ruled over Anilwad Patan, which is now known as Patan. So we have learnt about these 7 dynasties in the chapter, starting from Pratihara dynasty, Parmar dynasty, Pala and Sen which ruled over Bihar and Bengal. Then we had Chauhan dynasty. We had also learnt about Prithviraj Chauhan, which was the most powerful rulers among the Chauhan dynasty. And we have learnt about Guhel and Chedi dynasty also. So in this video we had learnt about the dynasties of North India. I have written all the main points on the board which you have to copy in your CW.